Yo, what's up guys? It's Friday here. It's time to go over the fusion that is coming up or starting right now in Raid Shadow Legends. The champion on the screen right here, Sanguine. And in this video, I want to go over the fusion calendar that was just released, which is supposed to guide you towards all the events and tournaments you have to complete to pick up this champion. It's going to be a mixed fusion like they said, and if you check the fusion calendar, you can tell what that means. That means you have to get epics, fragments of these 4 epics, just 1 epic but 4 copies of the same champion. So that's going to be 100 fragments for each, and then when you pick up all 400 fragments of this champion, then you can fuse them into the legendary. If you go to the game portal right here, you can see the fusion is finally in the game. There is also an update that went along with it that's showing that the Halloween is in full effect. She is one of the 4 Halloween champion that was released this period, and that's why the whole portal looks totally different in line with the season, right? So these are the 4 champions you have to use and get them from this fragment right here. Thorn is the name of the champion, and as usual, I like to go over the champion and see whether it's worth getting 1 copy of and keeping, because this is the first time I'm seeing this champion. But before that, let's go into this fusion breakdown and understand the events we'll have to complete if you intend to get this legendary champion in Raid. Alright, starting today, we see a champion training tournament going on with a dungeon divers. I still have to call it dungeon divers because we're old school like that and we can't get used to this new name called Gear Hunters event yet. It will maybe take some time before we begin to call it Gear Hunters. But champion training starting today with dungeon divers is one that you can go ahead if you've been saving energy, excessive energy holding up in your inbox. Like I have 516 energy, I can go into this campaign and start spending that energy in champion training. No need to wait, because this champion training is a long one. It's gonna take a long one all the way till Monday. Today is Thursday, by the way, so a champion training that is running all the way till Monday. It's going to be a really long one that you have your time to complete. And then if the dungeon divers is definitely not enough to just use 1 champion training to complete, so you have to see Ice Golem is starting along with it. You can also start with the Ice Golem tomorrow being Friday. That's when this Ice Golem kicks off, and you can use that Ice Golem to farm dungeon divers till when the Ice Golem is maxed out. Then you can go back to champion training and keep farming it. That's the usual plan, right? So that's 2 events for 1 dungeon divers. Well, technically is 1 event, but we like to count this Ice Golem and champion training as 2 events when it's really not. Champion training usually does not require you to spend a ton of energy in campaign. If you want to do it that old school way, the easiest way is brews and taking a bunch of champions to 6-star, and champion training gets done easier than spending a ton of energy trying to do dungeon divers in campaign farming. With that out of the way, for Thursday and Friday is supposed to be a weekend which is coinciding with a shard opening event. There's no weekend in Raid which does not go along with a chance for you to pick up a legendary champion of your dreams. This time around, they did announce the champions that you're expecting in this weekend progressive chance event. Is that what they called it? Let me confirm. This Friday, 24th October, we are planning to launch a progressive chance event, giving you a 15x chance of summoning champions of your choice from the selected pool from Ancient, Secrets, and Void. So it's going to be a 15x boosted chance to a 20x, boosted to a 25x if you keep getting legendaries without getting one of these ones on the list. And the list looks like this. It's going to have a Leonardo on the list as a 10x, as a 15x progressive champion. So take note of that. If you're still trying to snipe this, one of these TNMT champions, the most wanted one, and you're close to Messi, you might want to take a look at that. That's the one that has just 1 slot for legendaries and 1 slot for epics, and it seems like he's going to be the one most people are adding to their slot. If you're pulling voids, that's the champion to add to your list right there, starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Of course, the 15x event is usually shorter. No, this one is not shorter. It lasts for the entire 74 days. I mean 72 hours, not 74 days now. And apart from void shards, you can still do ancient shard, primal shard, or sacred shard. Take note, this is not the Leo event we are waiting for. This is just a normal weekend event that has Leo added to the mix. It's not really the Leo event we have been expecting, right? Status, Dragon Bane is there, Freya is there, Vault Keeper, Wixwell. Ooh, that's one that a lot of players might be looking forward to picking up if they did not get an opportunity to get him when he was available. Helicat, Kyoku is there, Grazor, Ingot, and Tuhanarak. Now, these are not only legendary events. Sometimes you want specific epic champions in your account and you're trying to snipe them, like a Seeker, like a Cardinal, a Steel's Call. Why would anybody be sniping for a Kinagashi? I don't know. But if you're looking for these specific epics, you also have one slot this weekend while you're summoning shards to have one of them added to the one slot. That event is running along with this Summon Rush. Yes, that's the Summon Rush starting on Friday. It runs all the way till Monday morning, GMT or UTC +1. Gear enhancement will also start that same Friday. If you found some trash that you want to throw away from this Ice Golem, this gear enhancement will help you cleanse it, because we will normally take our gear to 4 and 8. That's the old school way before we sell it. But if you don't have time, you have a ton of silver, you might just have to take a few gear pieces to 16 and get that gear enhancement event done real quick. If you save up 20 M silver before this fusion starts, you're good to go, because with all the silver you'll be getting from champion training Ice Golem, you'll be topped off again before you even run out of that 20 M. That's assuming you're not taking a bunch of gears to 16, right? You have to want to do that basic beginner method of taking gear to 4 and 8, right? All right, so now that you see Summon Rush is going on Friday, running all the way till Monday 27th, what is going to be special about this Summon Rush? Nothing. Just the standard 25 fragments. So if you don't like 15x event like I don't like 15x events, most people will skip out entirely on this Summon Rush. Now, normally there are two summoning events in fusions like this. The Summon Rush you just saw, and then a champion chase. Where is the champion chase? Chase tournament. Normally, those are the only two events we normally see in fusions. But here comes a hero's part right in the middle right here that has 25 fragments that you cannot skip out on. Right? Yes, it has 25 fragments you cannot skip. So you have 200 for tournament, 25 from the hero's part, and then 175 fragments from these all other events. So you cannot skip this hero's part. And if you check out Playroom Play, you can see what that event is all about. It kind of tells us before the event even starts. But I'm sure Playroom also stated it in the announcement what that event is all about. But let's go check in the calendar, because a lot of people are speculating that this event will be the Leo. Playroom has gone ahead and said no, this hero's part event is not the Leo event we've all been waiting for. It's just a normal hero's part that will give you these 25 fragments you need. So complete event objectives to earn hero coins, then use them to unlock rewards. Each part contains different rewards, but you can choose which reward. I'm trying to find out how you're going to complete this one. You can also jump in between rewards freely. It doesn't say what are we expected to do here. Dive in and explore the path and claim rewards. It doesn't say what we're expected to do here, but I'm sure if you check into the Discord, a lot of people are already throwing some speculations, but I'm not going to speculate because it clearly does not tell us what we're expected to do here. So if you go back into the game and see that there is one dungeon divers called Gear Hunters, there's another Gear Hunters event at this end right here, you can assume that this hero's part will also be a Gear Hunters event, because as you can see, this spider has no Gear Hunters event attached to it. So with this clear spider tournament right here, you can see that they can't let a spider run all the way to the end without attaching it to a dungeon divers or a Gear Hunters event. So that's one thing I can assume it will be. But the second thing most people will say might be a soulstone summoning, because if they make it shards after just doing a summon rush and then a champion chase is coming up, champion chase is right here, for them to make it shards, it's not going to sit well with the community. So it's clear to state that these heroes parts, or can be assumed that this heroes part will not contain shards. I don't think it will contain shards, or it's even written right here. Heroes part open shards plus get artifact. Open with shards. Here I am saying it's not going to contain shards, and then it's written right here in bold that it's going to contain shards. So you have to open shards in the hero's path to get 25 fragments, and then open shards again to get champion chase. I've always said it. Playroom is going to sneakily look for a way to make us open shards on 3 different times during a fusion. Once during a fusion, opening shards is not enough. Twice during a fusion, opening shards is not enough. I'm talking about Summon Rush and Champion Chase. And now they're sneakily adding a 3rd way. Forceful. You cannot skip that hero's path. So either you're doing Dungeon Divers, Gear Hunters, or you're opening your shards. And with the spider going on, if you use that hero's path to farm the spider, feels like it's not going to be enough anywhere near to get the 25 fragments. I might be wrong, but hopefully this spider farming and this champion training too. Yes, you do have another champion training coming up right here. So by the time you do all this champion training with these hero spots, Dungeon Divers, Gear Hunters, will these two be enough to get the 25 fragments, just like this champion training and Ice Golem was enough to get the 25 fragments? Will these two also be enough? We don't know yet until you see the event. If you're lazy about it, you might as well just go ahead and summon shards, but I'm not about to just do a summon rush and then do another. Does it fall on a weekend? No, it falls on a Monday all the way to a Thursday. So that's an entire 1 whole week of shard opening that you can do. What type of shards? Open shards. It doesn't say. And this is why a lot of people speculated that it might be the Leo, and they clarified it's not the Leo event because it's running for an entire 1 week, Monday all the way to Friday. Damn. All right, now that you clearly see what's coming, you can prepare ahead of time. It also falls in line with the Fire Knight. That's also important to note. So you have Spider, Champion Training, and Fire Knight all in this one Gear Hunters. A Dungeon Divers that is lasting for a whole 1 week. That's a lot of Dungeon Divers farming. So whatever you're farming that week will just fall in line with that Gear Hunters. No need to summon shards until the last Thursday if you feel like you're not missing up with the points. Or maybe you just do mystery shards. I tend to save my mystery shards for the first summon rush so I don't have to touch my real shards during the summon rush. Except I have some spare void to spare to see if I can pick up a Leo. Then I'll open maybe 10, 20 void shards if I even have that much for this first summon rush. So void shards might be the best way to go for this one, for this first summon rush. Who knows? If I can't skip it entirely, I can't. I have to go for the 25 fragments. Now that's the plan right here for these Gear Hunters. Normally, for this hero's part. Normally I'll come in here and circle all this in red, the hero's part, and say skip it entirely. But it's clear that you cannot skip this one. So we have gear enhancement number 2 coming up right here. And then after that, Friday weekend, the champion chase kicks off, and this champion chase normally will be a 2x event. We don't know what 2x boosted shard will be, but we are also hoping for one of those what do you call it now, primal shard, where they boost the chances of you getting mythical champions from your primal shard. And we've still not seen any events like that, so still keeping our fingers crossed for that one. Or maybe it's the heroes part 1 primal shard 2x, we don't know yet. All right, so what else? Classic Arena 1 and 2, that's standard. These ones have nothing much to say, and they've not been optimized to meet up with the end game demand that is Arena right now. It's just a normal one. You just go in there, pick up your 25 fragments and call it a day. Dragon also coincides with this other Gear Hunters event. They call it 2 Gear Hunters 2 while another Gear Hunters is hidden right here. Why not just call it Gear Hunters 3 since there's a 3rd one in this whole event? Sneaky. All right, gear enhancement 3 is also available right here for you to cleanse some gear you just farmed from the Fire Knight and maybe the Spider and then the Dragon. So I think that's everything to see in this calendar right here. Since this is a what do you call it, a void affinity champion, you will need to farm a lot of these void potions for you to get this champion, or not just one of them, all 4 of them to their maximum ascension. So make sure you get that one done when this the right dungeon is open. So if you don't get it done, this is something that you might want to do, especially on a Sunday whenever it opens. Make sure you have enough void potions available to get these 5-star champions when you have them 5-star to 5-star ascension before you can fuse this one. Take note of that. Take note of those Sunday farming for the potions. All right. So this fusion cannot be saved. Now the last fusion you see, some people might still have it right here. I don't. I already fused it. That is the one of the turtles, right? The TNMT champions. If this fusion is not also one that can be saved, it's not a fragment fusion specifically, so you cannot save it. Once these 2 weeks and 9 hours elapse, this champion will be going away from this portal. So if you have all the 4 epics by some luck of opening voice chat or something, you might as well go ahead and summon them. Also, you want to hold on to these fragments. If you have copies of this champion this turn, hold them, hold them, all 3 of them, maybe by what date is this? Saturday? No, by Friday, the champion chase. This is the best day to summon all 4 or 3 copies. By this day, you might have 3 or maybe 2, but whatever number you have, this is the day, Friday the 31st. That's the day for you to go over to your game and hit that fuse or summon all the 2 or 3 copies you have by then. So by then you can then use them for the champion training, which is also starting at the same time. The champion training is going on at the same time. So once you get them on that Friday, you can start leveling them up to 5-star. So that's a little bit of tip that can give you some points in this champion chase. If you don't want to summon all shards for champion chase, you can go ahead and do some old school fusions and get champion chase done that way easily by saving some of these fragments until that day. It's good to plan ahead and prepare for this event before they come, so you know what to do and not get surprised. But I tell you, this middle event definitely surprised me. I thought it was going to be a soulstone summoning or some other thing, but then it has shards included in it, so we have to summon 3 different occasions of summoning shards in this fusion. I don't know how I feel about that information. I see the videos people are making about this Sanguine Maria. She's an amazing champion according to the videos I've seen from yesterday, and so doing crazy things, soloing content. And so without hyping out too much, you've probably seen those videos also. I have to wait until I have the champion on my account to now decide on my own whether she's gonna be. But I'm just going for this fusion because I usually go for every fusion in raid. There's no reason to skip it when you have the time and the resources. But if you are busy, if you don't have the resources, or you were saving for Leo, some players are giving up on this fusion because they are saving everything for a Leo. But since the shard opening event have not started, we've not seen the Leo event, so you have to decide whether you want to throw some shards for summon rush or save everything for Leo, because we don't know yet when Leo is still coming. We still don't know. Damn, this is one of the most anticipated champions in raid. It's not even a mythical champion and it's creating all this buzz and hype in the game. That's kind of crazy. Well, this is my fusion plan for Sanguine Maria. I know it looks a little bit complicated and crazy looking, but yeah, I have to draw every line, check every event that is coming in so I can plan ahead and know what I have to do about it. And the one to watch out for, like I said, is going to be this one. Watch out for this one because it's going to be a crazy one for sure. Anyways, is there any other crazy way of getting the epic? Yes, there's usually one way of getting one copy of the epic right here. 50 fragments. 50 fragments hidden in this event can give you not the entire one epic, but at least ability or opportunity to skip 2 events. So if you go crazy for that hero's path, you have an opportunity to skip out on the champion chase entirely or some other event that you do not like. You go for that hero's path by summoning shard, not just dungeon divers, you will have the opportunity to skip out on 2 events. If you don't like Fire Knight, if you don't like champion chase, or if you don't like gear enhancement 3 for some reason. But it depends. Let's see what other resources this hero's path has. That will determine whether you want to go all crazy in for it, or you just want to do what you can, get the 25 fragments and call it a day. Right? Alright, let's go over there and see what this epic champion is all about, to see whether it's going to be worth having one copy of for those players who are not interested in this legendary fusion or who don't just have the resources to go all out for her. A1, each hit has a 25% chance of placing Leech debuff for 2 turns. Damage is based on defense. Leech on an A1 booked up to a extra 50% chance of landing that Leech on an A1. It's not a bad one for sure. This is a void epic champion, so he better be useful. It's not one of those epics you just grab and trash immediately into the vault or never even want to use. Hopefully that A1 Leech makes it useful in some content at least. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit 75% chance booked up to 100% chance of placing fear debuff for 1 turn. Fear on all the enemies is good. The second hit has also a 100% chance when booked of placing a decreased accuracy. AoE decreased accuracy, AoE fear debuff for 2 turns. The decreased accuracy is for 2 turns, while the fear is for 1 turn. Remember, it's not a true fear. Since it's not a legendary, it makes sense. It's just going to be a fear, right? And this fear is not as good as the true fear, but it still works. It still works, right? So the main difference is that let's scroll. Where do you find it? Right here. There are 2 versions of this fear and true fear. When a champion with fear debuff attempts to use the skill, there is a 50% chance that the skill will not activate. While in true fear instance, they lose that skill if it does not activate. There's a 50% chance that the skill will not activate and the champion will lose their turn. The skill they attempted to use will go on cooldown. That's the difference between fear and true fear, if you did not know. So the true fear is the bigger version of the fear. And definitely you want true fear instead of fear, because even if they get feared, they just miss their turn, but the skill is still active for them to use the next time. So not bad if you have no choice but to using as your crowd control in some content, right? All right, so let's see what else it brings to the table besides 2 debuffs that will definitely need accuracy to land. Let's see, on the A3, 1 with corruption is a skill that places increased defense buff on all allies, counter-attack, and an increased resistance buff on this champion for 2 turns. The counter-attack is on himself, not on all the allies. Only the increased defense is on all the other allies, right? So he's going to be counter-attacking with the A1, which means he's going to be placing that leech everywhere whenever he gets hit, I guess. So on a passive, before this champion uses a skill to deal damage, heals this champion. The value of the heal is proportional to his defense. So he's going to be healing himself and putting himself back to 100% HP without the need for those crazy artifact sets that gives him consistent healing. That can still help, but he does have a self-healing included in his kit, which is also nice to see. He does have an aura resistance in all battles of 40, so not one that you want to use in every content, but definitely want to watch out for if you need him in these Silver Watchers faction battles. He's not a champion I feel like a lot of players will enjoy using. I like the fear though. This is the best skill I think he has going for him, and the passive that heals him. So Thorn Golem, you're not going to be one of the best champions in Raid, unfortunately, but welcome to Raid. If you have no choice or no epics in this Silver Watchers to help you with content, definitely want to grab a copy of him, especially if you're new to Raid, and keep them. You don't know when this champion will all of a sudden pop up doing crazy things in some content, and then you don't have it. If you're not going for the fusion, keep a copy of Thorn Golem. And yeah, all right, that's all I have to share with you guys in this video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more daily Raid content, and whatever is happening in Raid, make sure you calm down and chill and then don't get so worked up. Catch me later on the live stream, twitch.tv/Grizz5D. I will be playing more Raid, maybe doing my Hydra battle. Second team, I'm going to be fighting or setting up this second team right here that I put together, or I have not yet put together. Still farming masteries for this champion, so if you want to catch me build this second Hydra team after the first one is doing crazy things right now for me, I'm going to test out this second one live on stream on Twitch. Later guys.